trip here. Today I am on the Harley Deluxe. In case you all don't know who she is, she's a 2015 and she's got the 103 twin cam in her. And I'm out in the beautiful Texas hill country on a Sunday afternoon enjoying the sunshine. And I got to thinking there's a video I should make that might be of benefit to some of y'all. And before we get started, I just want you all to know that this is not a political video. I'm not making any comment on COVID-19. I'm not making any comment on the vaccination. I'm not telling you what you should believe, what you should do. This video is simply for those who are curious about getting one of the vaccinations, who haven't gotten it yet, and are curious to what the procedure is all about, how it is to get the shot, and the side effects that I experienced. So several weeks ago, I decided that I would get a vaccine, and I went online and searched, God, it must have been a dozen or so websites, and kept coming back and looking. And finally, I was able to schedule an appointment for about 2 weeks in the future. And so I got a place to go, and I got a confirmation number, and I got a time and some instructions. And it said to check back a couple of days before the vaccine was actually scheduled. And I had signed up for the Pfizer vaccine. It said to go on and make sure that they had gotten supplies in and that the appointment was still good. Because back then there was still a little doubt on whether they could actually get the vaccines in on time or not. So forward fast 10 or 12 days, I checked and they did have the vaccines in, so I went to where I was supposed to go. My appointment was for 3:30. They said to show up early, so I did. And I guess I got there about 3 o'clock. Now, when I got there, I found out that I was going to the second story of an old mall, and the area that they had laid out to give these shots was about half the size of a Walmart. So I got in line, and the line flowed really quickly. They checked my ID, they checked my appointment, they asked me some information. All was good. I made it through the checkpoint. Mind you, I got there about 30 minutes early. I had to go to 3 or 4 checkpoints. Each one of them took a different piece of information from me just to make sure that I qualified for the shot, that I didn't have any symptoms, make sure I hadn't come in contact with anybody that had COVID. Once they figured out who I was and that I was good to get the shot, I went in and they gave me a piece of paper and told me a little bit about what the possible side effects were. So then they guided me to the lady who was actually going to give me the vaccine. There were about 100 stations in this place. It was amazing. Every one of them was a trained nurse from a big local hospital system. I sat down. She was very nice. She told me a little bit of information and just confirmed that I was in the right place and I was who I was. I showed her my papers and she said, okay, I'm going to pinch your arm a little bit just to numb it up here so you won't feel anything. I said, okay, but just do me a favor, because I'm not a big fan of needles. Please tell me when you're going to give me the shot. She goes, too late. I already gave it to you. I was like, what the hell? I didn't feel a damn thing. It was fantastic. So then you get up, you walk to another station. They give you some paperwork. They tell you what the potential symptoms might be that you may experience in the next day or two. And they schedule you for the second vaccine, which in my case was exactly 3 weeks later, almost to the minute. And then you go sit in an observation area. And you're supposed to stay there for about 10 minutes, just in case you have some sort of allergic reaction to the vaccine. So I asked one of the nurses there in the waiting area if they had had anybody with any reactions over the past few weeks or months. She said, well, we've had 2 people. One of them fainted and the other got nauseous. And it wasn't because of the vaccine, it's because they were both just very, very nervous. She said other than that, we hadn't had any problems. So I waited my 10 minutes. I get up, I left, I went and had something to eat, drank a soda, and I went home and took a nap. And I got up, felt no effects whatsoever. That evening was fine, but I'll tell you, the next morning when I woke up, my arm that I got the vaccination in, and it was my left arm, was sore as sore can be. It had felt like a 600-pound gorilla with a 5-pound class ring on had drilled me in my left arm about a half a dozen times. I couldn't believe how sore it was. It wasn't debilitating sore, but it was pretty damn sore, and it tapered off as time went by, but that lasted about 2 days. But other than that, I didn't have a single problem. Nothing. No fever, no aches, no cough. I couldn't tell that I'd ever gotten the shot except for the sore arm. Now, I want to make a comment on the process. When I went and got that shot, I got in there 30 minutes early. It took me about 3 minutes to get through the line, and then 10 minutes to wait. It took about a minute to get the shot. I was out of there in under 15 minutes. I was amazed at how quickly they were doing this, how professional everybody was, how all of these people were trained medical folks that had given probably 1 trillion shots all added up. When I left, I went out into the hallway of the mall and sat there and counted, and there was a person coming out of there about every every 6 to 10 seconds. They were pumping out, hundreds of people an hour out of this place and doing a really good job of it. So all is well. Let's forward fast another 3 weeks. I'd given them my email address and my phone number. You have to do that when you sign up. And 2 days before my second vaccination came along, I got a text and an email just confirming the time of my appointment. And this one was at 3:15, and they said they did in fact have supplies, again, the Pfizer vaccine. So I repeated the same process. This time I knew exactly where to go. I went up there and it was even faster. Same exact procedure. Had to show them my paperwork and everything. I didn't feel the shot. The lady didn't trick me. She didn't pinch my arm this time. I didn't feel a thing. Well, now I had heard that there were all sorts of side effects to the second shot. The first one was really no big deal, but the second one, oh man, 12 hours of this, 24 hours of that, you might be sick for 2 days, flu-like symptoms, blah, blah, blah. So I got to tell you, I was a bit concerned. So I went and I got the shot, same arm, same everything. The next morning, hey guys, the next morning my arm was sore, but this time instead of a 600-pound gorilla with a 5-pound class ring, it was about a 100-pound gorilla with a 6-ounce class ring. It didn't really feel that bad, which surprised me because I thought it would hurt even worse. So after about 12 hours that day and massaging my arm, I felt fine. So then the countdown begins. The people at the vaccination place had said, if you get symptoms, normally they start about 24 hours after you get the shot. So the big wait was on. 12 hours came and went by, nothing. 20 hours, 22 hours, 24 hours, not a thing. Second day went by, third day went by, fourth day went by. I didn't ever have a single symptom, nothing whatsoever. So I don't know if I'm lucky or not. I actually know a couple of people that have had some symptoms, but the longest they've lasted has been like 12 hours, and they felt like they had the flu, but it really wasn't that bad. It was like a mild case of the flu, and in less than a day it was over. Another great thing was it didn't cost me a nickel. The first shot didn't cost me anything. The second shot didn't cost me anything. Would I do it again? Heck yeah, I'd do it again. Didn't bother me at all. It was easy. I got in and out of there. Everybody was very professional. Each time I went to get vaccinated, it only took about an hour and 15 minutes out of my day. So it was hardly an inconvenience. Now they say with all these variants coming that we might have to get another booster once a year. That's fine with me. I'll be back. So again, I'm not telling you to go get this shot or not. That's your personal decision. Whatever you want to do, that's up to you, but I will tell you, it's free, it's easy, and for me it was virtually painless, except for that sore arm. Your results may very well be different. I don't know much at all about Moderna because I didn't get that. I don't know about Johnson & Johnson either. And whatever you decide to do, get the vaccination or not, I hope everything works out well for you. And until next time, this is Trip on Two Wheels. Ride safe and ride often, people.